Today we're going to talk about the two different types of typecasting and why we can never see Daniel Radcliffe as anything except Harry Potter. That and much more on the Halfassed Approach podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Half-Assed Approach podcast. My name is Quint.
I'm Harry.
Today we're trying something new where not only are we on a podcast where it's just audio, but we're going to be doing a YouTube series as well with our podcast. So if you want to watch us on our podcast, here you go. If you're watching us on YouTube, you've already found us there. But if you are still listening to us on our podcast, feel free to go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com. Well, it's not. Oh yeah, just search for Half-Assed Approach Podcast.
We're the only ones.
So I was kind of thinking about driving home today. We all know the term typecasting. If you don't, it's actually like a movie actor or TV series actor. Basically, they get stuck being known for being that particular character. Not like if you know this person, you know them as this particular character in this particular movie or TV series. And even if they go and try to act as somebody else in a different movie or TV series, you still, oh, look, that's so-and-so from this. That's typecasting. And I would argue that there's two types of typecasting. So we go with type 1.
Type 1.
Type 1 typecasting. Some examples here. Number 1, probably the biggest one of all, is Daniel Radcliffe. Mm-hmm. Harry Potter. He will, for me, especially for me, will always be known as Harry Potter.
Yep.
He's been in quite a few other films now since Harry Potter, but he still
has that boyish face.
Wears that scar on his forehead, sort of
yeah.
thing. The latest film I saw him in is I think Now You See Me Too. He plays the villain basically, and he's like this kind of super rich, kind of nerdy guy who's got it out for these main characters, and it's just like when you first meet him too, it's just like, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me.
I would kind of expand that to anyone in the Harry Potter movies.
Ron,
any of the main character. You got Ron.
Oh my gosh, Ron would definitely be up there. I haven't seen him in anything else, but geez, he would be.
I will say this: Hermione Granger, who played her,
Emma Stone,
Emma Watson.
Emma Watson.
Emma Watson. She's actually done a decent job separating herself from that.
Look at her.
I still see her as Hermione Granger, but she's done a decent job with playing Belle and Beauty and the Beast and a few other things. She's done a decent job separating herself. I'm very impressed.
Oh, yes. I think part of that, too, is just because she's, you see her like 12 years old or whatever in the very first one.
Yeah.
A lot of it, too, I think was just her hair. That's the most noticeable thing I had noticed that changes throughout the Harry Potter series.
She had
as well as other films that she's been in.
Friggin' big hair.
Poof.
Yeah, and then it became, more laid back, more
sensible.
Done, more sensible, more womanly. I don't know. And then I think Draco Malfoy, whatever the heck his actor name is, Half-Assed. Why don't you look that up real quick, actually? Because I don't want to be that half-assed.
We can only tolerate some half-assed here. Mm-hmm. I don't even know how to...
Ew. Ugh. Get some sun.
What has he been in? I want to say I've seen him in something. He's just such a dude.
He was in...
Okay.
He was actually a recurring character in season 3 of the Flash TV show.
I haven't seen that, so...
Tom Felton. He just looks like a homeless man who...
So disheveled.
You feel bad for, almost.
Oh,
almost.
He was, yeah.
Oh, that's right. He was in Rise of the Planet of the Apes. He's the one that said,
he's such the
"Get your hands off me, you damn dirty ape."
Is that him? Yeah.
Yep.
Completely ruins that line, too.
Yeah, he really does.
Yeah.
He ruins everything.
That's where I saw him.
I blame him for just everything in my life. That doesn't
Car won't start. Damn you!
Damn Tom you, Tom Felton!
Felton!
Yeah, I mean,
stuck in traffic. Freaking Felton.
Yeah. His IMDb picture, which is supposed to represent you as an actor. He looks homeless. He really does. What's up with his hair?
Well, I've noticed that a lot of IMDb is just a lot of these actors and actresses' pictures. Like a lot of them are just like pictures people have taken, like when they popped out of the limo at the Grammys or something like that. Or Oscars or whatever. Yeah. Grammys, I think, is with music, isn't it?
Something like that, sure. What we really want to do is get a button, kind of like the "That Was Easy" button, but have it say the half-assed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So instead of saying
"That was easy,"
it'd say half-assed.
Say half-assed.
I'm gonna put this up blow it up.
That's gonna be
and put it somewhere. It'll be in the background of the next video or something.
All right. So that's one example of typecasting is Daniel Radcliffe. Obviously, everyone in the Harry Potter universe, pretty much.
Tom Felton, yeah.
Tom Felton particularly.
The only exception is Emma Watson, though.
Emma Watson's done a very good job of separating herself out. Another one, Kristen Stewart. For those of you who've lived under a rock, Kristen Stewart was the main girl in Twilight.
I'm so glad I can tell what I'm trying to type here. Surprising for me is she's apparently in 54 films. So we're currently filming Charlie's Angels according to this.
Which I don't want her in Charlie's Angels. There are a couple movies that I did see her in, but it was before Twilight, so I don't know if that counts. Oh, so Catch That Kid, which was actually a great movie growing up. It's not one that a lot of people know about. It's actually quite a good movie. Show a picture of her when she's young. The GIF.
The GIF?
The GIF. Come on, there we go.
Oh no!
Oh,
there it is!
Oh!
This one's alright, actually.
Anyway.
And then it goes to this.
Then
before, after. Well, there's Snow White and the Huntsman. That's the one I remember from other than frickin' Twilight.
What did she look like in that?
Let's see.
What was that sound?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
That was fun.
Don't worry about it. The thing I remember most throughout the entire film here, Snow White and the Huntsman, gaping mouth, gaping mouth, gaping mouth. Just how she was in Twilight, could not close her mouth just the whole time. I don't know. That one's kind of okay because she's kind of smiling. She's unconscious there, so surprisingly her mouth can close then. And we're kind of off topic here. The point is like, yeah, you see her in any film and it's like, that's frickin' Belle from Twilight.
Yep.
Like, even if you're a guy and you, like, or at least know of the frickin' series and you just know, that's frickin' the Twilight girl.
Or it's your secret guilty pleasure and you read it when you're lonely.
I know it is my secret guilty pleasure,
Absolutely.
So, I mean, it's
There's
definitely...
nothing I like better than a nice warm bath, a bottle of wine, and the Twilight books.
Of course, there's the Twilight LARP sessions that I go to.
Those are fun.
Oh, yeah, so Twilight live-action roleplay. It's definitely the best thing ever.
Oh, absolutely.
If you're not part of one of those, I suggest, or if there's not one in your area, I definitely suggest try to start one yourself.
Are you team Edward or team Jacob?
Oh, no.
Come on. You have to have an opinion.
Edward.
Okay. You know what? I'm team Edward first.
That's really just because I don't know, that came to mind first. They're both horrible. I don't know.
I don't know. Jacob has better abs, and that's as far as I'm going to go.
He at least pretends to be more of a man, I guess. Like, Edward's
Dude, he's
just
a
like...
wolf. That's freaking badass.
But he's not really badass. He's just Taylor Lautner. He did okay, I guess, as far as typecasting, because he was in
Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Don't judge.
Was he?
It was a great movie.
You're a Shark Boy, right?
Yep, there you go. Wow. Man, he looks younger.
That's so early 2000s.
It's so bad of a costume, too.
Oh, not back to Kristen. Jeez.
What else has he been in? Abduction?
Scream Queens, really? He is. He plays a doctor in Scream Queens. And,
oh, that's right. He was in Cheaper by the Dozen, too. He was in Danny Phantom? Really? That's kind of cool. Sorry, we're getting off topic. One of the ones that I think is Doctor Who. We're probably going to have a Doctor Who episode coming up pretty soon. All about the show, how it relates to the time travel stuff we were talking about last time. David Tennant played the Doctor. He's a British actor, actually quite accomplished. He's been in a few big things, but it's mostly British stuff.
Check out the hair.
Look at that.
I don't think I've seen him with that hairstyle ever.
I don't think I want to see him with that hairstyle ever. What's interesting about him is the other role I know him
Harry
from
Potter.
is... Yeah, he was in Harry Potter.
Really?
Yeah, he was Barty Crouch Jr.
Who?
Exactly.
Okay.
So the other series he's really well known for is Jessica Jones. Netflix has 4 big Marvel series. Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. And then they have Defenders, which is all of them together. Jessica Jones is a fantastic TV show.
I don't know. And it's just fun, too. Like what you're saying, like I knew David Tennant just from Doctor Who. And so to watch him go from literally from this to this, was like, holy crap! Like
if you look at those 2 pictures, he's got a little plan. So he's looking at it. He's got a plan. You can tell he's got a plan in that picture. Same thing. He's got a plan.
More sinister, though.
Much more sinister. They did a really good job. He's known as the Purple Man in the comics. It's actually quite a good character. But where was I going with that? Oh, it seems to... Could you focus? It seems to me that he did a really good job playing almost an anti-Doctor. The Doctor is very clever. He manipulates people to try to get them to be more brave, more courageous, do the right thing, things like that. It's fascinating to me that Kilgrave does the exact opposite. He manipulates people, but he does it to make them more sinister, force them to do bad things and things like that. So it's almost like an anti-Doctor. Also, they're both really good at making plans that are 2 or 3 steps ahead of the people they're against.
I would say arguably 2 very different people, but played by the same actor. But there is still a lot of similarities between the two. So I see him in being Kilgrave, like, oh gosh, that's Doctor Who. When you first see him, you get that shock, but so you get some typecasting there. But if you actually watch Jessica Jones and you watch him be Kilgrave, it's like, oh my gosh, I can see why Jessica's so terrified of him.
Yeah,
it's like, I can't believe this goofy, weird dude
who
played the Doctor could actually pull this off, but he does a pretty decent job of it.
Between those 2 things, he's turned into one of my favorite, well, probably my favorite British or Scottish actor. Because I don't know that many.
By the way, there is a YouTube video. It's just simply called like the Doctor being sassy for literally 10 minutes straight.
I love it.
Oh my gosh,
so great.
I think it's mostly David Tennant. It's just the way he talks in Doctor Who. It's just like, let's just get a big sock of gum. Like, let's get like 10 pieces in there, chew them all up, so you got a big wet slobbery sock in there, and then you just try to talk as fast as possible. That's how he acts. That's Doctor Who.
And it works for him.
For that kind of is annoying to me, honestly. It's like the last season of David Tennant. He starts to act. There's a few episodes where he really does start to get serious. And I'll leave that for the Doctor Who episode. Remind me to actually bring that up.
Yeah.
But I'll explain why he actually gets pretty serious. Because in the first 3 seasons, he's like this goofy, weird guy who's, in my opinion at least, Harrison probably doesn't agree, but he's just annoying.
I don't disagree. He can be annoying to some people.
Yeah, David Tennant, Kristen Stewart,
Daniel Radcliffe. You got those 3 that are prime examples of, here's the type of typecasting we're talking about.
Type 1 typecasting is what I'm going to call it.
I love it. Type 1 typecasting. You look at them and you say, hey, there's that guy from Harry Potter. There's that guy from Doctor Who. Second type of typecasting. Go.
It's not necessarily the actor that you see being, oh, he's just that one character from that one film, and that's it. It doesn't matter what else he plays. It's not necessarily that. It's just you see that actor, and it's like, yeah, he always plays this type of character. Eddie Murphy, it's just like he's just like this funny guy who can't take anything seriously. He's just kind of, you see him in like, was it Big Mama's House?
The Nutty Professor.
Oh my gosh, the Nutty Professor. So he plays like half the characters in that film, and they're all exactly the same. That he could just have.
Just pretty great.
You could I would argue that. I don't know. Yeah, I could. It's cool that you could play so many different characters, especially spanning different genders and stuff and age.
Yeah, I don't
groups.
mean.
But
I'm not talking about the movie. I just mean the idea of being able to play 5 or 6 different characters and being able to do that. It's pretty cool.
Do you really need to explain Eddie Murphy? He's just kind of this goofy guy. He just kind of, any character that he plays is just kind of goofy, not very serious, and he just his own antics and body language is just the same throughout every character he plays. Henry Winkler. He plays the main character's dad in Holes.
He's in Parks and Rec. He's John Ralphio's dad. And he plays the same thing. He plays the dad, the kind of goofy-looking dad that tries to be serious.
Wow, he looks kind of like Scott Bakula in this. Like, he has colored hair.
Wow.
Same thing there. Just anything he plays is just kind of the same type of character.
He's the dad.
Yep. Morgan Freeman. He's always plays this character who's just full of wisdom. Literally, he plays God in Bruce Almighty.
And Evan Almighty.
Yeah. And he's always this guy who just, he's kind of older, he's got full of wisdom, even in like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. But that's like the one I can think of him where he's like the youngest I've seen him. But even then, he's still like kind of, He's not like this young guy. He's just kind of sort of mysterious, full of wisdom, kind of has his own way of doing things, and kind of being able to see things with a wider perspective than like the main characters. Actually, he's never really the main character either. I mean, he is in some films, but it seems like more often than not he's playing like the sidekick or something. He's just kind of the guy there to help progress the protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Cera.
He was the guy, the kid from Superbad, which is a fantastic. He has a mustache.
Which one?
Right.
Oh
there.
my gosh!
He has a mustache. Oh, he looks like he's gonna touch children. Okay, edit that out. That was too far. Please edit that out. Yeah, no, he shouldn't have a mustache though. That's
insert that clip from Troll 2.
Oh my god!
But no, I mean generally, besides the mustache, he's typecasted as a quivering man-child, as one article described, which is pretty funny. I mean, he's a young dude. I mean, look up a present-day picture of him. He looks like a guy who is just entering puberty, and he's typecasted as such.
Except for this one.
Except for that one, which just shouldn't exist.
Oh my god!
What's our point, Quint?
There are two types of typecasting. That's really just the point I wanted to get at. And it's funny how actors and actresses can fall into these typecastings. And it's kind of funny also how the way you remember them or always see them as being typecasted can actually be a little different. And yeah, so I'm going to classify type 1, type 2. Type 1 is just where they played one character where they became really famous in, and you remember them forever as that character. Daniel Radcliffe as being Harry Potter. Yeah, Eddie Murphy, Henry Winkler, Morgan Freeman especially is the other type 2 typecasting, where it's not necessarily the character that you always associate with that actor or actress. It's just the type of person that they generally play. So it can it doesn't matter what character they're playing. You don't remember him for being, oh, he was this guy in this film. It's oh, he always plays, Morgan Freeman always plays the guy who's full of wisdom, who's always knows everything. I can't believe I haven't mentioned Samuel Jackson. But to quote, what's it called, Ted?
Ted.
Just like Samuel Jackson.
Who is that?
You ever seen any movie ever? He's the black guy.
It's like it's. Obviously, yeah, it's going to be a little not true, but more often than not, it's like, yeah, he's
that guy. Oh gosh. Oh my goodness.
It broke it. I won't load it.
All right, well, thank you so much for watching for the first time. This is going to become a regular thing.
He doesn't have to edit these, so he's like, yeah, let's do this and this.
Let's do this. Look to our future videos coming up where we will play a video game, comment on it, and things like that. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, let's see. If you haven't followed us on Twitter at Halfassed Pod, feel free to do so. We also have a Facebook page, facebook.com/halfassedpod. We need to do this. We need to get some merch going, but we do have a Patreon page. I know if you donate there, you're not really getting anything at the moment, but we do want to start up something where we got hats, shirts, jackets, half-assed broadcast.
Everything.
Memorabilia.
Half-assed approach podcast.
Yeah.
We
want to get
gotta be careful about that.
Yeah. So we're going to have to get some merch going for you. But if you want to help us get that going and just be nice, you can feel free to make a donation at patreon.com/halfassed.
All the money you give right now goes right back into the podcast, getting better microphones, maybe a better facility and more editing and whatever.
If you don't like listening to our podcast on anchor.fm/halfassed, you can also listen to us on Spotify, Radio Public, Google Podcast, Breaker, Pocket Casts, and Castbox. So there's a few of them for you. Mm-hmm. Just to try to be a little more flexible for you guys, because we're looking out for you.
We're looking out for you.
We
do this for the children and for you.
But just you. You're the children.
You're the children. You are the children of our future, or whatever that song is.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know either. Let's just move on.
All right. Well, well, that being said, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Have a good night.